What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're here today, you're in for a huge surprise. This is one of those days in the NFL where something unexpected just exploded, and the news is absolutely massive. Just moments ago, it was confirmed that Robert Spillane, a linebacker for the Las Vegas Raiders, has signed with none other than the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, you heard that right. Robert Spillane, the linebacker known for his toughness and aggressive style, is leaving the Raiders and heading to the Cowboys. This is huge, and you better believe we're diving deep into every angle of this story, because there's a lot more here than meets the eye. First off, let's talk about how shocking this move is. Spillane had been a key contributor to the Raiders' defense for the last few seasons. He's not a household name just yet, but those who follow the NFL closely know exactly how effective he's been, especially last season. He's a linebacker with a relentless motor who can play sideline to sideline, cover tight ends, and rush the passer when needed. He's a tough player, known for his ability to step up in big moments and for his hard-hitting style. So, to see him leaving the Raiders for the Cowboys, especially when the Raiders were building something defensively, really caught a lot of people off guard. A lot of fans didn't see this coming. There was no real chatter about Spillane being on the move. This wasn't one of the sources say kind of deals. This was a genuine surprise that kind of exploded across social media and the news cycle. But what does this mean for both teams, the Cowboys and the Raiders? Why would Spillane leave the Raiders, who were showing potential, to join an already loaded Cowboys defense? And how does this affect the broader NFL picture? Well, for the Dallas Cowboys, this is huge. Let's be honest, when you think about the Cowboys' defense, you can't ignore the monster that is Micah Parsons. Parsons is a generational talent who can rush the passer, cover receivers, and essentially play every linebacker role at an elite level. But with Robert Spillane now joining him, the Cowboys are taking their defense to another level. If you thought the Cowboys' defense was good before, just wait until you see what they can do with Spillane in the mix. Spillane brings a level of physicality and leadership that will help solidify their linebacker core and allow Parsons to do what he does best: wreak havoc on opposing quarterbacks. The Cowboys have built one of the most complete defenses in the NFL, and now, with Spillane, they have even more depth. The addition of Spillane provides them with the flexibility to rotate players and maintain a high level of intensity, especially in the middle of the field where the Cowboys have occasionally struggled in coverage against quicker, more elusive players. Spillane is known for being a sure tackler and for stepping up in those critical moments, and he could be exactly what they need to tighten things up in the middle. But it's not just about Spillane's impact as an individual player, it's about how he fits into the broader defensive scheme in Dallas. Dan Quinn, the Cowboys' defensive coordinator, has done an outstanding job of getting the most out of his players. He's been instrumental in transforming this defense into one of the league's best. Now, with Spillane, Quinn has a player who is versatile, physical, and smart. Spillane can take on multiple roles within the defense. He can help with blitz packages, shore up run defense, and be a sure tackler in coverage situations. The way the Cowboys deploy him alongside Parsons and others could give them one of the most dynamic linebacker tandems in the NFL. And if Spillane can continue to perform at the level he has over the last few seasons, the Cowboys might have one of the scariest defensive units in the entire league. However, let's not forget about the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders' decision to let Spillane go and move on from him is one that raises some eyebrows. The Raiders have been making moves to rebuild their roster, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and it's clear that they are making a calculated decision here. Spillane has been a solid contributor for them, and it's hard to imagine they didn't want him back. But the Raiders are also facing some salary cap challenges. In the NFL, sometimes teams have to make tough choices, and it seems like the Raiders felt that keeping Spillane wasn't the best decision for their future. With so much focus on improving the offense and other areas of their defense, the Raiders might have just felt that they couldn't justify paying Spillane the kind of money he was likely to command. Let's face it, the linebacker position, while important, might not be the Raiders' biggest priority at this moment in time. They've got a lot of holes to fill, and freeing up cap space to address other areas could have been the ultimate goal. But make no mistake about it, Robert Spillane will be missed in Las Vegas. He was one of the leaders on their defense and a guy who made plays when the team needed it most. His ability to step up in clutch moments and help control the middle of the field was something the Raiders relied on, and now they'll need to find a way to replace that leadership and skill set. For all the talk about the Raiders' rebuild, it's still a little concerning that they didn't do more to keep Spillane around, given how important he was to their defense. But in the NFL, it's always about the long-term vision. So, the Raiders could just be thinking about the future and how they can better allocate their resources to fill other needs. The NFL is a business, after all, and tough decisions have to be made. Now, let's take a step back and look at the broader picture. What does this move mean for the NFL as a whole? Well, for one, it signals that the Dallas Cowboys are serious about making a Super Bowl run. The Cowboys have been a team on the cusp for a few seasons now, and their defense has been one of the key reasons they've been so competitive. Adding Robert Spillane is just the latest in a series of moves that show they're not content with just making the playoffs, they want to win it all. And with this defense, they are undoubtedly one of the most dangerous teams in the NFC. You've got the likes of Micah Parsons, Trevon Diggs, DeMarcus Lawrence, and now Robert Spillane, all playing together on the same defense. That's a nightmare for any quarterback. The Cowboys' defense, which already had the ability to dominate, just got even better. So, when you think about the playoff picture in the NFC, the Cowboys are undoubtedly in the mix for a deep run. You're going to have to go through them if you want to make it to the Super Bowl. For the Raiders, on the other hand, this move shows that they are clearly in a rebuilding phase. The Raiders are looking toward the future, trying to figure out how they can get back to the top of the AFC West. They've got a lot of work to do, and their defense is just one area that needs a significant overhaul. While losing Spillane is a blow, the Raiders are focusing on the long-term strategy of building a more complete roster. Whether this strategy pays off is still up in the air, but one thing is for sure: the Raiders' future is going to be interesting to watch as they continue to try to revamp their team. This move also has a ripple effect on the rest of the NFL. It's one of those signings that sends a message to other teams in the NFC. The Cowboys are sending a clear signal that they're ready to compete for a Super Bowl in 2025, and they're going to do whatever it takes to build the best roster possible. Other NFC teams, particularly those in the NFC East like the Eagles and Giants, will need to step up their game if they want to compete with a team as stacked as the Cowboys. And for other NFL teams, this trade could set a precedent for how free agent linebackers are valued moving forward. Spillane may not be a superstar, but his signing by the Cowboys highlights just how much a solid, reliable linebacker can bring to a team that's already loaded with talent. Of course, we can't forget about the fans. And let me tell you, the fan reactions have been all over the place. Cowboys fans are ecstatic about the move, understandably. They see Spillane as the final piece to a dominant defense, and they're already imagining what a Super Bowl victory might look like with him on the field. On the flip side, Raiders fans are frustrated. Many of them feel that Spillane was an integral part of their defense and that letting him walk could hurt their rebuilding efforts. The NFL is a league of passionate fans, and this move has sparked some strong reactions across social media. At the end of the day, it's one of those moves that will be talked about for a long time. Robert Spillane to the Cowboys is a game-changer for both teams, and it could have a big impact on how the NFC shapes up in 2025. As always, we'll be here to cover every angle of the story as it unfolds. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Spillane will make a huge difference for the Cowboys? Or do you think the Raiders will regret letting him go? Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest NFL news. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.